Meet Amber and Ruben Lara.
We love feedback.
The husband and wife team behind a dog apparel brand based in the Bark-shires of Massachusetts. What are the things that's really like keeping you up at night with regards to this business?
Everything.
They love dogs. They have amazing design.
We got
our
shirts. We got our mugs.
But here's a problem. No one knows who they are.
Our challenge is that online people can't feel our shirts. You know, no one's like, I desperately need a dog shirt right now. It's an emergency.
Their social reach, weak. Their website, emotionless. Their brand, invisible. They're selling to proud dog owners, but hiding in the background. I'm going to split you guys apart now. Ruben, think like Ruben. Amber,
Right.
think like Amber. You are no longer we. So today on the Fairy BOSSmother Show.
Are you Fairy BOSSmother or awesome?
No, not me. You two. I challenge them to step out of the shadows and become the proud power couple that this brand really needs. Ruben, what do you love about Amber?
I love... It's funny, I did not expect this on this podcast.
Do you think I can get them to lead with their faces and their hearts?
I am awesome.
Let's meet Amber and Ruben. Before we meet Amber and Ruben, I asked them a few basic questions about the business to see how they talk about themselves and their brand. Let's take a look. When I asked them, what's your business all about and who do you serve? They said, we've taken the love of dogs, the love of living in the beautiful Berkshires, and the love of vintage art and mashed it into a lifestyle brand making stuff for people who love dogs. I love that. They've got such boldness. Ooh, they've got more. All designs are produced by in-house illustrator designer Reuben Lara. Okay, this is phenomenal. They clearly love what they do. I can feel it in the way they've talked about their business and their brand. They're very proud to have started this together. This is two people, and this is the first time on the Fairy BOSSmother Show that I have worked on two people at the same time. And it seems like all of the illustrations is coming from one person in-house. There's a real community spirit with this brand. I'm going to be really curious to see whether any of this translates on their brand online. They said, we are proud to embrace the use of sustainable and renewable materials in our products and packaging. We select manufacturers who endeavor to use materials that are ethically sourced, organic, and recycled. And with animals in need on the rise since the pandemic, we are pleased to donate a percentage of each t-shirt sold to a local animal shelter in Massachusetts or New York. Oh, these guys have such a big heart. And clearly it's so important for them to like give back and really be part of that community. I really want to see that community movement and that feel and that vibe embedded into their brand. Right now, I get the feeling that's two separate things right now. And they're trying to make sales, but then they're trying to do good. And it's like, ooh, where does our head go? I don't know. I think that could be something that is going to like slow them down like molasses. Next, I asked them, what are your main goals for your business right now? So they said, number one, increase in website traffic and conversion of sales. We do great in person at farmers markets and festivals, which is slowly getting the word out, but we would like to primarily be selling online and wholesale. This is a very typical problem for a lot of locally owned companies. They rely too much being foot soldiers on the ground and not enough in getting reach into the wider world. And just because you have a website doesn't mean you're going to get traffic automatically coming into your website. So I would like to know what they've been doing to like build the roads toward their website. What is the marketing strategy like? How are they talking about their products? Are they only talking about the product because it's sustainable and ethical and blah, 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 blah? The average consumer does not search for things like that. They want to look for things that are trendy, things that are relevant to them, things that are personable. Are they using those types of keywords? And are they using those types of languages in their brand? Or are they talking about the brand in a really roundabout way that doesn't hit that mark? I will find that out. Next, I asked them, what's the biggest challenge you're currently facing in your business? They said, we value sustainability, but not everyone does. Bingo, they've nailed it, because no one really cares about sustainability. That's a byproduct of the product, not the reason to buy. Lack of time is an issue. This business is currently a side hustle, which we hope to nurture to become our main work over time. Right, even if this is a side hustle, this can continue to become a passive income stream for their business. But now the reason why this is probably taking up a lot of their time is because they're designing. And when you have too many products, because designing is the fun part, how much of their time is going to that boring shit that no one wants to do? And that sales, and outreach. I think they need to choose what they want. Do they want to make money and grow as quickly as possible? Or do they want to lean in the sustainability side, which means slower growth? That's a choice that they need to make. I asked them, have you done any work on your personal brand? And they said, yes. Donating promotional products to local musicians and influencers. That's not personal branding. Donating prizes and silent auction items for local charities to get the word out. That's not personal branding. Currently working on press brief to announce our small business to local periodicals. Also not personal branding. What they're describing is a marketing strategy. They are doing a lot of work to get the word out, but it's just too fragmented right now. So let me show them how to do it. Let's meet Amber and Ruben Lara. Reuben, Amber, so amazing to have you today. How are you guys doing?
Great.
So excited to be here. Thanks for having us.
I know you guys waited for 2 months or so to get on the Fairy BOSSmother Show.
We wanted to create anticipation.
Ooh, I like that. So Amber, Reuben, before we get started, do you want the full-on Fairy BOSSmother, unfiltered, no holding back?
That's why we're here.
Yes, 100%.
We love feedback.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I will give you everything that I have. I get the feeling you guys are going to give it just as hard to me.
And you know what? I'm an artist and I'm used to people either loving or hating what I'm doing. So critique is good.
True. Artists have thick skin. So
I don't know if my heart is breaking for you or not when you actually say that. You need a tough
used to it and welcome it.
What were you guys doing before you started your business as well?
Well, we're doing the same things we were doing before. I'm a registered dental hygienist. So that's my day job.
Yeah. And I'm a full-time professional illustrator, animator, and motion designer. So definitely our Bark-shire dog company is something that we want to be, we're heading toward the direction of making it our main attention. So we're kind of in that threshold stage of, flipping over to dedicating the time it deserves.
Okay.
And how we got started, we live in Berkshire County, Massachusetts, which is this beautiful area in Western Massachusetts. It's well known because it's vacation homes for, folks in Boston and New York, and it's a beautiful tourist spot. And we get, to be blessed enough to live here and like soak it all in. And it's such a culturally rich area, but it's also super dog friendly. And that's why for decades, it's been referred to affectionately as the Bark-shires. Barking dogs. And every once in a while you can find like a cute little pillow at a gift shop that talks about the Bark-shires. There's some artwork that some local artists have done, but no one's really fully fleshed it out.
Yeah.
And we honestly felt there was enough dog lovers who not only live here but visit here to kind of see if we can celebrate a whole brand focused on that concept, specifically making stuff for people who love dogs. We make more people products than dog products.
I mean, the people are the reason why the dogs are loved so much, right? And I love the fact that you found a concept that was missing where you guys are living and you completely leaned into it. So what made you decide this is the thing that I want us to focus on? Because there's 2 people involved in this decision-making process.
Yeah.
So how did those 2 minds come together and saying, this is it, guys?
Well, we had a friend visiting over the weekend who kind of, it was
dog lover,
shook our head and said, why aren't you doing this? And we're like, yes, why aren't we
Reuben,
doing
you're
this?
an artist, if Reuben always tells me when it comes to art critique, never trust wives or mothers.
They'll
if they say
yeah.
my daughter's an amazing artist, my son, but he really is an amazing artist. So
Thanks.
I think having the confidence that he has such a beautiful aesthetic and very logical mind, we felt like going into business is something that we could handle. We also took advantage of all the amazing perks that Massachusetts has for small business. There's like local.
And also just kind of looking forward to something that we could do long term. We're like entering I'm going to be 49 this year.
Oh, congrats.
And we're not close to retirement age yet by any stretch of the imagination, but you know, like your career has a shelf life at some point.
It's true. Dental hygiene
your
stuff
wrist
on
will
your
fall off at
body,
some
and
point.
we're like, what can we do when I don't want to be hunched over and needing chiropractic care every week?
Yeah. And so it just felt like an obvious thing for us. And you know, because we have the ability to create the art in-house, we also have like a really robust network of artist friends. We felt like the art part of any lifestyle brand type business is the most expensive part. And that was the easy part for us. So we felt like we have an advantage in that sense if we can capitalize on it.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like you guys are building a huge community now in terms of the fact that, number one, you live in the Bark-shires.
Yeah.
Two, there's a huge community of dog lovers, not just in where you are living, but just generally. People, when they love their dogs, they really love their dogs, right?
And you know, it's a unifying thing too. Like people from all walks of life, ages, it's like
economic
everyone
backgrounds.
loves their dog.
It's a beautifully unifying thing.
Yeah.
And we've felt that at our pop-ups. I love it because it's, you know, it's kind of it. We're in a world right now where a lot divides, but the fact that we get to focus on something that just people can get together on, talk about their animals,
not controversial.
They love. You know, we donate to local shelters. Everyone just loves that. You don't have to be a certain background. It's just a very satisfyingly unifying thing that we've started.
Yeah. Can I just ask, by any chance, is that a Berkshire mug that you're drinking from?
Okay, we went all out.
So
okay?
we got
our
shirts.
You guys
got our
gotta
mugs. I think Reuben has a mug too.
Yeah, and here's a mug that's not on our website yet. We're kind of experimenting with it, but
just
it's called,
experimenting.
Frenchy Rose.
Yeah. So in total, how many products do you have launched right now?
And I want to say, I mean, not including, you know, SKUs for different size t-shirts. I would say like around 45, 50.
Yeah.
You know, we're slowly
Yeah.
doing it. One challenge we have is that when people come to our store or our pop-up tent store, they're like, do you have, you know, a corgi beagle mix on your t-shirt? We're like, no, we're still slowly just getting all the breeds out. So we hope to slowly kind of get and represent more of those beloved breeds. So we just tell people, check back. We're always adding.
Right. Okay. Sounds like there's a lot going on. But one of the things that you mentioned off camera was, number one, this is a side hustle for the both of you. And then number two, this is a fairly new business. So let's uncap that a little bit. How new is new? And if this is a side hustle, how soon do you want this to be a full-time thing for you both?
Great questions. So we had the concept in fall of 2022, incorporated in March of 23. We have had 2 like summer seasons of selling, you know, which is the busy season. So what is that, like 2.5 years?
Yeah. And in terms of, you know, wanting it to succeed, we've another one of our favorite podcasts is How I Built This with Guy Raz. And there's a lot of, you know, entrepreneurs that recognize that they grew too fast, you know, and like that was a problem too. So we would like to be growing faster for sure than we are now, but we also value this idea of kind of like a slow build where we're able to think about things. But yeah, I'm willing to, barring whatever time Amber wants to remain in the field that she's in, I'm willing to kind of like slide over into this as soon as it's viable enough to, you know, to like really pay the bills and make a living off of it for sure. I still, you know, need to keep up with my normal motion design clients at this point.
Yeah. So what are the things that's really like keeping you up at night with regards to this business?
Everything. Well, okay.
Give me your top 3.
Here's our challenge. We do so well in person. Every time we go to a farmer's market, we really value the experience of being in our tent. And so we've invested money into making sure our tent feels like you're walking into a little space. And, you know, in most farmers markets, there's a lot of just normal tables or just, you know, it's a farmer's market. But when we put our tent out, you can see it from a distance. And so we have a lot of success with that. And people come in, they feel our products. Our t-shirts are so ridiculously soft and wonderful that the feedback we get are, this is my favorite shirt. I wear it all the time. But our challenge is that online, people can't feel our shirts. You know, no one's like, I desperately need a dog shirt right now. It's an emergency. And so we're having a hard time getting found online and kind of getting that momentum.
But we are pleased that, you know, we are slowly getting new clientele online, but we're very pleased to see that our customers are coming back. Like a lot of our online sales are people coming back. So we know that we're doing something right. The fact that they're, you know, people like our products, they like the quality, they come back for gift giving. So I think that would be the up night thing is how do we drive more traffic to our website? We did recently open an Etsy store just to have a new trusted storefront to, capture new clientele, but we're excited to hear your suggestions.
Okay. Well, that actually leads me to my next segue is, what made you decide that you were ready to come on the Fairy BOSSmother Show?
I mean, we just thought that you would have great insights, and we were just like, yeah, let's do it. I think you had reached out, and we're like, why not?
Yeah. And, I mean, we're always wondering, what do we not know? We don't know what we don't know. And so, I have a lot of experience designing for other clients, other businesses, but this is my first time designing for an e-commerce brand for sure, and so that's new for me. And I recognize that design, it's more than just like how beautiful something looks or if the typography is nice. We've taken a look at our website several times. We think about it often, but we're still wondering why is it that someone would come to the site and not pull the trigger?
Yeah.
Right. So those are questions we have. And we're eager to just get as much feedback as we can for people who can say oh yeah, I can see it right away.
Okay. She's warming up.
I'm already warm. My brain is on fire for you guys. Now, before I jump into reviewing your Instagram and Google and also your online presence, because I'm curious to see what I can find about you as individuals, not as a couple. Let's just remove every limitation. Reuben and Amber, you have no money issues. You have all the time in the world. Okay. What do you really want to be known for?
In connection to the business.
Yeah. I think beautiful, ethically sourced, planet friendly stuff that dog lovers can't live without.
Okay, stop. Think of individuals. Forget about the business. Your business is on fire, okay? Because money is flowing. You have so much money. You're just business is so good. I can retire at 50. Damn it! Yes, I can do that.
I didn't know.
Okay. So something more personal.
Okay. Let's think about this.
Yeah, your business is great. In fact, you know what? Yeah. Amber, you don't need to do that job anymore. Reuben, you can work full-time designing whatever the hell you want because time is infinite for you and you have to service clients. What is the legacy that you want to leave behind as individual people?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. Both of us individually and as a couple, we have a deep sense of spirituality. And so we do a lot of volunteer work for our local church. And that's a huge part of our week. And it's a huge part of our priorities as well. So, in connection with that, when we start businesses or we're involved in business, dovetails strongly with who we are as people. We want to be known as people who are, unifying elements in our community, trustworthy. Even though we're in business, I know I struggle often with a lot of kind of this business mindset of your bottom line is the most important thing as long as people are, throwing cash at you. And I can't wrap my brain around that kind of thinking, so I want to be known as a business person who is understandably needs to make a living, but we care about people's happiness, about their satisfaction, our community. I think the reason we gravitated toward this concept is because of the dog factor. We're animal lovers and we're not activists by any means, or we don't feel like we're going to be the two people that change the world, but we want to feel like what we're doing is bringing some joy and contentment to people's lives.
Okay, there's a lot of things I need to unpack here. One of the things you said was you want to be someone who's trusted. Are you not trusted right now?
No, I think we are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to continue to be
maintain that reputation, even though maybe there's more of a spotlight on us, given that we now are business owners.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Reuben is very much trusted in his industry. I'm very much trusted in mine.
Yeah, she's
my patients
excellent reputation.
I love my patients and they love me. So
I think trust is the wrong word to focus on. If you already have trust, why maintain that status quo? Let's go beyond that.
Okay.
Break it. Okay, I'm taking you guys to space. Okay, you are two.
All right, we're in outer space.
The Berkshires. We are not in the Berkshires anymore. You guys are so successful in what you're doing. And Reuben, please don't speak on behalf.
Okay, I won't.
Amber, I want you to say I.
Absolutely. We are kind of very.
We did everything together.
We finish each other's sentences, so I promise you, it comes from a place of unity and respect.
Absolutely. But as a personal brand expert, I'm going to break you guys apart for a minute.
Okay.
We know this is an interesting challenge for you because you have two. You're doing great.
I'm going to split you guys apart now. Reuben, think like Reuben. Amber,
right.
think like Amber. Okay. You are no longer we. Because if one of you go, you're going to become a we. That we goes away, becomes an I. So your success cannot be integrated with each other. Even though you're married, you love each other. Okay, you know what? Let's do a little exercise. because
Thought experiment. Okay.
I feel like
Thank you for explaining. I think I better
Yeah, I
understand
might
the
get hit by a
question
bus
now.
tomorrow.
It's true.
you guys are amazing. I love it. Okay, I'm going to just get this out the way because I know how much you love and care about each other. I'm going to do a really quick exercise with the two of you.
Okay.
Sure.
I want you two to face each other. Forget that I'm here. And
This is the most romantic podcast we've been on.
this is,
Can I say?
yeah, love
Into
is
each
in
other's
the
eyes.
air.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Even though I'm not here, I'm just a voice.
Okay.
Reuben, what do you
Outer
love
space.
about Amber?
I love. It's funny. I did not expect this on this podcast, but it's easy.
Let's
for me
go
to
with
answer.
it. Let's go with it. What do you love
Okay,
about
I
me?
love the most thing about you is your empathy
Mhm.
and your conscience. You always do the right thing.
That was nice.
I'm going to cry. Okay.
That was easy for me.
Amber, what do you love about Reuben?
Oh, there's so many things I love about you, Reuben. I love that you, as a life partner, always make me look good. You're always concerned about my welfare. I trust you implicitly with everything in my life, including our business, if we can talk about our business, but more importantly, my emotional, spiritual state.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're the
I
best.
appreciate that. I feel the same way.
How'd we do?
And that's why you two are in business, because that level of trust and implicit trust is so high.
Yeah.
We've already established right live on this podcast, trust is not a factor for you two. So
No, it's not.
Okay.
Yeah, we trust each other 100%.
You trust each other. Yeah, you guys can go blindfolded into a fire and still trust each other that you guys are going to be safe at the end of it. So that's
a
bubble,
beautiful
right?
observation. Thank you for that, Talyn.
Yeah, that safety bubble is already established. That trust is already established. So you two, unfortunately, have failed the test because you're not thinking big enough.
Interestingly, I was thinking because Reuben had a chance to express that question, and when he was talking, I was thinking, it is important for me to voice out loud that one thing we're not interested in is like making a huge mark on this world as far as like our brand,
changing the world.
You know what I mean? Like that honestly is not part of our MO. Our MO is to, whether it's business related or personal endeavor related, is to again have a good reputation in the community, continue to maintain a good reputation in the community, and to pay our bills, but also allow enough time to maintain the more important sacred things. That's a balance we struggle, because business can be so all-consuming. Like how do we make sure that we do schedule in those date nights, we maintain our relationship? How do we maintain our sanity and our spirituality? Because when you're just like, oh my gosh, I gotta sell, it can absolutely creep into that. So I think that probably explains it, hopefully a little bit, if I'm understanding your question. Like that's a big part of who we are too, is that balance, that life work balance.
Definitely a challenge. It seems like you guys have a scheduling challenge with regards to trying to squeeze everything in, but it's not because of trust or the fact that people don't love your products, is because that structure is not built into your business already. You're thinking too much in the now and not in the future. And I think this is why you're having such a hard time articulating what mark do I want to leave? Because Amber, you just told me you don't care about leaving any mark. You don't care if your brand doesn't do anything, but shouldn't it do something? Because if there's no anchor to your brand, then what you guys are doing is just keeping busy in your business. You're staying stuck. And then you're thinking, my spirituality is leaving me. I'm not able to volunteer as much as I want to. I don't have enough date nights with the man that I can walk through fire with. And what the heck is what's happening with my life if I don't have any control over it? So already you guys are losing control over your life because the busyness is keeping you trapped, because you're not thinking big enough.
That's a fair observation. And, I feel like, to qualify my previous statement too, is like, I don't want to leave a big enough mark. I don't want to leave a mark at a high cost. So maybe that's something you can help us with. How do we grow to have that presence at mark, but without sacrificing the more important things?
Yeah. And I want to add another thing about, in terms of like personally, I'll say I want to be known for.
Go for it. Own what you say.
In our business is we have a lot of really talented friends too that we've worked with over the years, and that's something that we've talked about a lot, is that this business can also be a catalyst to be a blessing for our friends, because it's so art-centric.
Yeah.
And, art is going through a huge evolution right now with AI and understanding how that, comes into the creative process. So that's something that I would like to look back and, for someone at my funeral, okay, we're thinking like way in the future.
You said to go out there, to go far ahead.
To say, oh yeah, you know what Reuben and Amber did together, actually helped a bunch of other people. And it wasn't just about like putting money in my pocket, but it kind of like spread the love,
Right.
It doesn't hurt that our friends are so talented that they bring in interest from potential clientele. I mean, we're now getting to the point where we're known as, hey, are we going to have a local dog function, whether it's like, community day at the Norman Rockwell Museum or, some sort of dog event at, Edith Wharton's The Mount. We get those cold calls because they think of us as
like, oh, dogs,
like you're plugged into that dog industry. And there's many other amazing vendors locally who also do, but we love that we are developing that reputation for doing that. So we are making our little mark locally. And it's true, we want to make a bigger mark, but we want to make sure we always do it in a responsible way that doesn't come at the cost of more important things.
Right. So this is where the word sustainability comes in, but more internally between the two of you. You want to be able to do something that stays sustainable for you guys to be able to do bigger, better things in your own life, right? So let's
I think you nailed it.
Yeah,
I think you nailed
good
it.
job.
All right, good. Boom. Okay, I can leave now. So the sustainability element is something that you guys need to practice within your business and not just talk about. Because one of the things that you mentioned before the show was you mentioned sustainability, where your products come from, how it's designed, the artists that are involved. But your customers, number one, may not understand what that means. Number two, may not absolutely care about that, unfortunately. And number three, that could be the barrier between you getting that sale, because sustainability has a lot of negative connotation. It's very hippy dippy to a lot of people. And that's not the reason why they are buying that product. It's for another reason, right? So let's keep sustainability between the two of you. You want to build a sustainable business that maintains or elevates your relationship together as founders, president, owners of this business, plus a married couple who want to stay married, right? You don't,
yes.
you don't want this business getting in the middle of you. So what would becoming this version of you, Reuben, Amber, individually, mean for your life, your family, and then your legacy?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we envision ourselves, plans are to be in this area, for the foreseeable future, and just to be able to, keep growing this business into a brand that people feel like they want to gift to others because it brings them joy, and they want to spread that joy to other people, and so that it just is something that we can make a living with, and in a way that's not divisive and that we enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, how about you?
I mean, we love that we have a creative endeavor together. My husband is an incredibly creative person. He lives in that world. And, besides popping in the office and giving the occasional not solicited critique.
No, actually, most of the good ideas come from you.
Well, I mean, Berkshire Dog. I'm just saying, when you're working with, your clients at Walt Disney or your clients, at MacArthur Foundation and all this stuff, I don't get to be part of that process.
That's true.
So that's something super fun about this I am all up in this creative process, and we love doing that together.
Yeah.
So, I would say this version of ourselves we're in an exciting phase. We're like, on long car trips and like brainstorming about our next product and like, Jacob's Pillow, which is, world-renowned ballet and dance center, is interested in using our, how can we get like, dogs in tutus on a tote? Like what, you know what I mean? Like, it's a fun process. So I would say right now, what I would like to accomplish, the version of what we are right now, let's grow our business in a way that allows us to have this fun creative outlet and do it in a way that's, financially responsible so that we can draw more business to business clientele and meet the demand of our local folks who want to see more breeds on products.
Let's dive into your website now, because once we see your website, we'll see exactly where the gaps are in your business. Now, we are about halfway, guys. Am I going too easy on you? Or do you want me to go deeper?
We're open. I mean, you
lead. I feel like you
lead.
now have a sense of us. So we'll follow your lead.
Yeah.
We trust you.
All right. That's the
Fairy BOSSmother. The word mother means we can trust you.
And then there's the boss that's gonna like.
There's the boss.
It's a good balance. It's a good balance. We know we need work, and we're excited. We're excited to hear where our website can improve.
All right. So we got the Berkshire Dog Trading Company. Ooh, you have had a glow up since I last saw what your website was all about.
Oh, good.
So the first thing that came up is a pop-up. Welcome to the Berkshire Dog family. You know what, guys? I absolutely hate pop-ups because it's very, very disruptive. And you want to lead with that call to action immediately. If you want to send that 20% coupon, that's the first thing that goes off. If you love your dog as much as we do, here's 20% off coming your way. That should be the first headline rather than welcome to the Berkshire Dog family. It's like, so
instead of something
give
disruptive.
me that 20%, right?
So you're saying that should be more something that's on the site versus as a pop-up.
Well, both, definitely both, because you want your call to action. You want people to buy your product, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're giving them an incentive to get it for slightly less with a first-time order. Your pop-up is good. I love the picture. It's very cute, guys. But this is already letting you down. Hey, here's 20% off because you love your dog as much as we do. Boom, done.
I love it.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. So don't be afraid to be direct.
We've been afraid to be too pushy, but we have to learn that we have to be a little more assertive.
Which I appreciate because like a lot of, we are not business majors or marketing majors. And so like we tend to make decisions based on the buying experience, and that's not necessarily what you want to do because, just because I have a certain preference in my buying experience doesn't mean it's what works.
Right. I know you have to be slightly in people's faces, but you're not shoving it down their throats by giving them something free. You're doing them a favor, guys, by giving them 20% off. You're cutting into your margins. So in fact, you're doing something for them. You're actually doing something charitable for them by giving a little bit of an incentive to buy from you. So don't feel bad about that. And in fact, I would even articulate it here because you have this amazing homepage banner, but I'm like, okay, this is a really cute brand. I'm seeing the vibe of it. You're showing off the Berkshires. Your product images are phenomenal. I would not change that, but your call to action is missing right now. So that way, you're honoring the fact that this is probably the first time you're giving something back. You are talking about this is a joint venture, and this is a small business that they're supporting. Mention that right there.
Okay. That's a great suggestion. Thank you.
Yeah. And you also say we. Maybe instead of saying we, because this is the first time you're introducing yourself, Reuben and Amber loves.
Like bring us more into the story.
Yes, absolutely. Because without the two of you, none of this would be happening. Your community wouldn't be where it is. Don't be afraid to show yourselves off now.
Yeah.
Which is something that we do have in person. We are there as a couple.
Exactly.
Reuben is
People
literally
like that,
sketching live, doing pet caricatures. People are enthralled by the fact that, he's the artist behind all our stuff. So it does make sense to make that more present and obvious on our front page. Awesome suggestion. Thank you.
And what else I would love? That was amazing. Reuben, I want to see a sketch of a video of you sketching.
Doing something.
Yeah, sketching and then adding it straight on the homepage. Our work is done locally. It's not done by AI. We have a supportive community of artists, and the guy who does all the artwork, here he is in action. Yeah. The Reuben in action. That would be amazing to see.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a great suggestion.
We're so we've just, our normal MO is to not shine the spotlight on us
ourselves, but we know that's not the best for
the brand. Yeah.
For business. And promoting ourselves business-wise doesn't mean we're, promoting ourselves as superior. It doesn't mean we're arrogant. We're just saying you can't live without our stuff because look how awesome Reuben is sketching. So it's like, it's there, there's one, but you have to find it. You have to go click and click and click.
I don't want to click. I want to see Reuben and Amber.
Yeah.
We are so proud of what we have created together, right? It's the whole thing of getting the two of you looking into each other's eyes and saying, I love this much about you and I love this about you. We want to see that because the fact is, if you were to look at your competitors, guys, and maybe this is the first thing you do, check out other dog apparel companies or other companies that have dog, things on those apparels. See how they talk about themselves and find out if there are other husband and wife companies just like yours. If there isn't, that is going to be one of your biggest unique selling points.
That's like our differentiator. Yeah.
Right? Because if people love you in person, people are going to love you online.
Yeah.
That's a great suggestion.
You two are hiding.
All right. We'll keep leaning into that.
Absolutely. And
Maybe we can have self-affirming facing each other comments on our webpage. Like, you're the best.
And you know what's funny, Talyn, is that early on we got some help from a mentor, like one of the Massachusetts, programs, and he is very concerned that we're starting a business as a married couple. He's like, I haven't seen a lot of good success for this,
and I feel like he did kind of what you did.
He's like, are you guys for real? But we have talked about that a lot. It's like we know that our marriage is not going to be the cost of this business, but we can make it a feature of our business.
Yes,
right.
Exactly. And having said that, I want to jump on your Instagram page because I want to see what exactly you talk about. And then we're going to be able to see very clearly why you're not selling the way you should be selling. Because,
great.
So you've done most of the hard work. You've got, your branding is fantastic. Your website is great, but it does need some tweaking. And on top of that, the two of you are hiding very much behind the scenes. You do say we, but you're saying we with a big, wall. And it's like, who are they talking about? Are you talking about the dogs or what? Right?
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Right.
All right.
Let's do it.
I want you to show up more as a couple, but then more importantly, as Amber, who's a whole person, as Reuben, who's a whole person, and then as two people coming together to build this amazing apparel company that actually you two shouldn't have to run full time. Do you know why? The product is made, the designs are made. This should become your passive income stream 100%.
Yes, we agree.
We would love that.
Yeah.
We like that idea.
We're struggling to make sure that we're in the right balance of like placing the right priorities in the right spot. So one of them is sustainability, right? Like we
eco-friendly,
just by nature, everything costs us more to make, obviously, like a lot more, but sustainability, as much as we can, is important to us. And so we don't want to like die on this hill, but it's not easy. And so
but we also feel a responsibility because, there's no planet B.
Yeah. So like we want to do our part, right?
Yeah.
So that's one thing. How much do we focus on sustainability, or do people even care?
Like education. I mean, we definitely find, and you're going to see on our Instagram, it is a good month to talk about this because it's Earth Month. And we have found that when we post things about like, why is organic cotton good? And, all these kind of like educational things, they get very few likes.
Low.
They get very few likes. People kind of see it and pass on. But at the same time, we don't want to not educate. So where is that proper location for that type of education? If it's not Instagram, where is it going to be? So we look forward to
Laura,
checking it out.
And saying, do you like people to educate you when you didn't ask for it?
Sometimes. If it's something that I'm like,
you're a really good person.
But it depends. It's true. You don't want it. And I feel like I don't mind it when it's not, and when it's peppered. And I think that's the approach that we've had is like, peppered throughout, like, hey, here's why you can feel awesome about this shirt. Did you know, like there's a QR code, that you can snap on your all made apparel shirt and find out exactly which factory it was made. Yeah. Isn't that cool? And so that was like a story, so
is that, depends. Maybe
I like to be educated, but depends on how and how much it's in my face for me.
I think that's the how is important. So I think the sustainability element clearly is something that you guys really care about. Is probably not going to be the reason why people buy your shirts. It's going to be the designs that is the reason people buy your shirts. Now, the way that you show off the sustainability element, very early on in the show, you mentioned how butter soft your product is. We need user-generated content of people going, oh my God, this shirt is like the most amazing thing ever. Look, I can put it in my face and it's falling off and it feels amazing. You don't know how it feels, but in your Instagram, which we will look in a second, this is how you show off the sustainability element. People care about what the shirt's going to look like after it's washed, how long this shirt is going to last, what this shirt is going to feel like after a long day in the office. So maybe that's something that you can show off. I wore this shirt first thing in the morning, went to the gym, did this, had no time to change my shirt, end of the day, have kids, put them to bed. I'm still in the same shirt. Do an A/B testing. What is a crappy cotton, mass manufactured shirt look like versus yours? And in fact, if you want to take your product further, be really daring. How much trust do you have in your own shirt? So maybe get one of your shirts printed in one of those crappy like cotton polyester rubbish versus getting your shirt printed on the products that you put your designs on.
Yeah. And we have done
the market.
There's done so much A/B testing.
But we've done it for our own, decision making. We've never done it.
We've never posted
promoted
that.
it.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting idea.
Yeah. Document it, guys. Absolutely document it, because that is the thing that people want to see.
Yeah.
And then what you're really doing is, polyester is so bad for the environment, for the planet. It doesn't last that long. You just spend $30 on something that's going to wash off the designs in 3 months versus this that's going to last in your closet forever. And you only spend $30 on it. Like, that's the thing that people care about.
Yeah.
You guys are turning it into a really fun story. And that's what you put on Instagram, which I'm going to look into right now.
Like, minimize the education. Let's celebrate the durability and quality and beauty.
We just need to do it and get in front of the camera.
Yeah.
We need to be less camera shy, even though you will see when we're in a pinch and we need to model something. It's like
It's
Reuben
us.
and Amber all over the website because it's the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need to have crazy editing skills. I mean, Reuben, you're an editor. You do illustration.
We probably overthink a lot of stuff because
exactly.
like,
You probably overanalyze, overthink, and you want everything to be perfect. But the more imperfect your reels are, the more real they become, and the more
that's true.
Trustworthiness there is in your brand.
Yeah, there's no spin. It's just real life.
Yeah, exactly.
And the good news is there is no spin. They're great products. And they really are.
And I have
what
learned
we
how to
say
use
they are.
Canva. So I
Amber's
am
done
happy to
amazing.
say that I've been able to take some of that off of Reuben, since, design work, there's so much I can't do. So I'm happy to say Canva is my friend, and I edit most of our reels.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't even need to edit too much on Canva. To be honest, just, if you and if we had more time, I would have got you to go do a reel right now. Post it online. I am going to get you to do that at the end of the show. You guys are going to do a reel talking about your Fairy BOSSmother experience.
All right.
Bark-shire Dog Trading Co. on Instagram. So you have over 1,000 followers, which is a really great start considering you're a new company. But what's letting you down already, guys, is 141 posts, which is telling me that you don't post often. True or false?
It's true.
It's true. We average about 2 posts a week.
No,
or maybe not even that. Well, you've actually
we try to do like a weekend
recently.
and I mean, it could be when we first, because we slapped something up there when we were in just the thinking about it stages. So it has been, it's true. When we were like kind of product developing, it was
we haven't had this the whole time.
But I'm going to say for the past 2 years, I would say at least it's been try to do two a week plus stories.
Okay, so scheduling and structuring your business is a problem for the two of you. I want you to decide right now, what days are you posting on social media?
We try to do Tuesdays and like maybe a Saturday, but it does vary. It's not like consistent.
Let's be definitive. All I'm asking you to do is one reel on that day. You can even batch create it. So you can have one day for the whole month, which is just dedicated to content and reels. So for me, it's Mondays. Monday is my content creation Monday. I have literally nothing else booked in the calendar other than content creation. So that's filming, scripting, editing, and then scheduling. That way it leaves you, the whole month is free.
Yeah, you have like a little basket of things.
Right, exactly. And then that way, Amber, you don't have to think, well, maybe Tuesday or maybe Saturday. No, it's done. So let's lock it in. Tuesday and Saturday are your non-negotiable days that you have to post. Give me one more day.
Do it.
We need the Instagram discipline.
Yes. I need one more day from you, though. You need
Plus.
to get 3.
Okay.
Oh, one more day. Okay.
One more day.
A
like
third
one more
day.
day to dedicate. It could be like, I don't know, Monday morning.
You want to find out like what day is our content creation day?
I want to know when I will expect to see reels coming from your company.
So you're saying we should be posting 3 times a week?
Yes, minimum.
Okay. What about Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday?
What about Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturday?
I like it. Those are the days that were available.
And Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna.
In your expertise, is that a nice little gap between?
It's not up to me. It's up to your schedule. So as long as you're consistent.
But if we have a content day, then we technically should be able to
post any of those days.
Yeah,
exactly. Bullseye.
And if you do count stories, so maybe you can help me understand too. If you do count stories, we absolutely are present probably 3 or 4 times a week. But as far as posts, we have been averaging 2. So you're saying the actual post should be 3.
Yeah. You know what? My minimum that I tell my clients when clients work with me is once a day. So 3 times a week is
It's already conservative.
Yes, it's the bare minimum. Because the more you show up, the more people are going to remember you, are going to be a little bit more invested with what you two have to say. And the reason you're probably having this anxiety, Amber, with regards to posting too much is because it has been too educational. Let's go back to Instagram again. So looking at your Instagram, on average, before I even click inside, your engagement is phenomenal. You have 55, 74, 67.
So that's okay. We don't have a benchmark to understand. Is that good?
That's really great. That's anything
great.
more than 50 is like, woo, you guys are celebrities right now. And you don't even know it, right? But what's lacking here, just in the bio, your bio is really letting you down.
Okay.
Because you don't even introduce the two of you, okay? So this is a Amber and Ruben Lara, husband and wife team coming together, right?
Yeah, we have not been describing ourselves that way.
No.
Yeah.
I think we started, and then it's like Instagram's like, you have 2 letters left, and we're like, oh man, we can't fit it in this section.
But maybe we
unless
don't
they
have to
elongated
describe everything there. It's just more like who we are, and
Yes,
like
this is going to be the most important part. The very first line. This is SEO keyword when it comes to Instagram. So yes, you already talked about the fact that, Berkshire Dog Trading Co., you've got that there twice. It's your handle, and then it's your main profile name. What you don't have is apparel for dog lovers.
Yeah, and it is a more than apparel. Like
we don't
we're trying
want
to make
to
it
be
to be
just apparel.
Like, and that's where we're growing out our inventory, store, if you will.
What else are you including?
So, for example, if you go to the goods page,
even if you scroll down, you can see some of our more recent.
Yeah, like for example, there's a leather dog
poop bag
holder. Scroll up higher. You passed it already. Higher up on
on
right
the right.
there, that one. Like we just started offering this. It's called Duty Calls.
DOODY.
And
Oh, cute.
one of our talented friends is making this for us. So we the mugs, the totes, like we're really invested in this being like stuff in general.
And we feel like our stuff is definitely it's kind of art centric. Like we kind of want to be known as somebody who has a cool kind of vintage, clever artwork that we will put on mugs, we will put on hats, we will put on,
pencil
totes.
pouches. Yeah.
We'll put on, a deck of cards. Ruben's currently designing a deck of cards where every
sweet
face card is a different dog breed. So like we're so new that I agree that it's easy to draw the conclusion that we're an apparel company, but our goal is to get to be stuff for people who love dogs.
Yes. So it's great to have goals. And I love the fact that you are custom designing some of these things, and your website could be pulling in a lot of those custom design apparels, artwork, all of that. You also mentioned you have a lot of artist friends that also help with some of the designs. Why not spotlight them both on your website and your products and on Instagram? So what I mean by that is when you have a product that's launched on your website or even on Etsy, show off the artist, with the product and saying, I designed this one, and give them a little spotlight, because that way you're building that community. You're building that community, you're further building that trust, and you are showcasing other artists in the local community. That's a very easy win for everyone. The second thing you could do, if you two are really burnt out from doing all the reels that I'm getting you to do, you know what? Guest reel. Get your friends to get on the reel and saying, I'm taking over.
It's true.
Show you what I'm doing. And let them do like a quick sketch of, hey, I just did this in 2 minutes. Do you want this? Get on this website. Yeah.
That's a great idea.
That's good. And I think like what you said, it's just, we have to carve out that time for scheduling. We have like this, for example, this premium deck of cards that I'm designing is going to be really amazing. Every deck is a different dog breed. But in my mind, I'll just speak for myself, is like, I don't know when we can order it because I have to finish it first, so we kind of hold back from showing too much unless we know we have it in hand that we can fulfill. But maybe we just need to let those fears even go away, and say, here's what
pre-order so we're locked in.
Yeah.
Exactly. Bingo, pre-order it. But guys, you have 45 plus products. You need at least 3 hot sellers that is going like through the there should be 3 products that are consistently bringing you income before you build and grow and even create any more new products. So Ruben, I would say pause on the creativity, which is, I know it's going to be really hard for you, but you have more than enough products to sell.
To capitalize on what we have.
Exactly. And you've got an Etsy store now. There's going to be a demand of people who want your product. but now you just need to put ad dollars behind it for just 3 products. Test out which 3 products,
Okay.
you know, you need to do some testings right now.
And we have bestsellers in person. Like that's our frustration is we know it's a good business because we sell stuff
and people come
see
back
it.
for more.
You know, we're just trying to transfer that over to the online shops.
We can. Guess what it's called? This is going to be the word of the day, guys. Documentation. So the next time you do an in-person experience, and that's what we're going to call it, an in-person experience, because you guys really do put out the stocks for people to really experience what you guys offer. Document it. Just get out your phone, show off how much people love your product. Your personality is really going to come through. And then this is the B-roll that you're going to be using on Instagram to say, hey, we have some other pop-ups. Come and visit us if you want to meet us in person. You know?
I love that idea. And I'd love, I would love your insight because it is true. We try to do that, but because it's been the cold season, it's not at the top of our posts. They're down below. And I would love for you to look at one. And it shows like people buying, people smiling, people's dogs, at our booth and with our bandanas. And I'm wondering if those can be improved or if you feel like that accomplishes your awesome suggestion.
We just need to do more of it.
Yeah, so this is not, the show and tell is the wrong way around. You're here to sell a product, not an event. And this is something that's happened in the past. So what you want to do is you want to use your footage in a way that encourages people to then go into your website and buy your product. Yeah. So what your reels are doing is these are really cute. There's so many different ways that you can repurpose your content. You're missing your hook. In the caption, you're just talking about an event that's happened. It's like, I just went to someone's wedding. It was really great. So heartwarming. And then it's like, where's the call to action? Yeah. Where's the call to action? So
it's a good point. This one right here is just our dog eating ice cream.
But it's the same.
But it's the same
had
thing.
This thing,
we had this, we had a blast, look at these great pups, but it's true. So we need to find terminology that says you can't miss our next one. In fact, if you can't wait, go to our website and you can get it now.
Kind of, yes. I think there needs to be a little bit more leading here. You are too much in the background. You're not telling the story enough of why people should support your work. And why they should buy from you and why they should support the two of you. Yeah. And there's the call to actions missing everywhere on your website, on Instagram. The two of you are very much behind the scenes. Just because you're on camera doesn't mean you're still visible, because you're not sharing your behind the scenes enough. You're not sharing that creative process, Reuben. Even you, Amber, the fact that you've on this show said that you love seeing Reuben's work come to life and being part of that creative process. We want to see that. We want to see what that creative process looks like.
And also from my perspective, and honestly, I'm not just saying this for the podcast. You have the good ideas, I'm just drawing.
I'll agree. I have great ideas.
And so your instinct for, what product should be or what our next one should be are like mostly right most of the time.
But we definitely work together on it.
Yeah,
I think we have just the right combo of aesthetic.
Yeah.
But it's true. And even the fact that, I do find that Reuben is very dreamy and I love it when he does his work. Like maybe capitalize on the fact that I love this guy and we get to work together. Like, and I don't know if that feels too personal, but like in a tasteful way.
You two are so freaking cute. I want to see more of you.
What was the last part? What was the question? I was laughing.
She wants to see more.
Oh, more of us. So we need to be less shy about, being upfront. We need to promote ourselves, because I do think that is a little bit of the magic that works when we are in-person events is people enjoy us. And we get that even on our reviews, like, loved meeting Amber and Ruben, great couple. And so
we're just who we are. Yeah, we're not,
yeah, we are.
I've got one last question for you two, because we're wrapping up now.
Okay.
When people say these lovely things about you, have you ever said, wait 1 second, would you mind doing this on camera?
No.
You've got to start asking.
We need to have I
have to get out of my shyness.
More boss.
I do. We gotta
less mother.
We gotta channel our inner Fairy boss mother and just be more bold. It's true. We tend to be, self-correcting.
We don't want to make people uncomfortable. We want them to feel safe in our tent, like they're not going to be on camera.
And we do feel like, we don't want to cross that boundary of proper pride into arrogance. And maybe we need to not be afraid of that, because this is not our personality. This is our business. And we need to be more bold and not camera shy.
Look, if you're really scared to ask, Reuben, do a really cute design on paper, right, with a cute puppy dog like face. Would you mind saying this on camera for us? Right?
Yeah.
Oh, but anyhow, like you don't need, doesn't even have to come out of your mouth. Just ask them, even if it's on paper. Going, I'm really shy to say this, but my picture's doing the thing.
We barely have enough like courage is not the right word, because we're not like shy people, but we barely have enough what's the word, whatever the word is, to ask people to sign up on our subscription sheet. Like
Ruben's good at it. I'm awful at it. I need to up, and I need to
just have to like
that.
not project our own, not
we have to be more
bold.
We have to be more bold.
All right, I'm going to do one last exercise with you. It's going to feel really stupid, but that's the whole thing. Right, this time you're looking directly at me.
Okay.
Right. I want you to give me your best power pose right now to say that you are awesome. I want to believe that you two are awesome, because right now I'm not believing yet.
What's our good power pose?
For you?
You, Fairy BOSSmother, are awesome.
No, not me. You two.
See, we did it again.
I didn't. I was saying I was awesome.
Okay.
Come on, a little bit more conviction.
How about this?
Okay, here's my pose.
Look at me and saying, I am awesome.
I am awesome.
Oh my God.
Look, I'm
that's
putting
like
an Amber.
a D- right there.
Apparently we need a
All right,
follow-up.
we'll work on it.
Apparently we need a follow-up session. We're going to work on that boldness and the I'm awesome vibe.
All right.
Guys, this was really great. I loved having you on the show. So what's the one thing you're going to implement immediately?
I want to be more present on our website and our Instagram.
Yeah.
I think
and put that call to action at the front.
Today.
We're going to do it this afternoon.
Good.
I do find the challenge is that if we could have anything, like you said, that question, anything, I wish I could clone Reuben, because sometimes when it's like, hey babe, can you adjust that, that pop-up, or I need him to like clean the gutters, like which is it? Like
and water's flooding into the garage.
So it's like, finding those tasks. But we're gonna prioritize those things.
We just need to
I'm gonna give you one more tip. Get one of these. Get a doggy timer, right? Time him. Seriously. And then that goes off. Give yourself a time. If the pop-up thing is going to take 20 minutes, time it, and then move on to the gutter. You have to prioritize what you need to get done. Just don't put too much on one person. But if you have segmented time in your schedule to say, right, I've got 20 minutes to do something, what can I get done that's going to move the needle forward? Prioritize that. If the gutters can wait till tomorrow, schedule that in for tomorrow. Scheduling is the thing that you are lacking in your personal life, in your business. If you nail that down, then you're going to feel like you can manage everything, your personal life, your marriage, and your business.
So cloning is not an option.
I mean, everyone.
Better scheduling is the answer. Better scheduling is the answer. Understood. Awesome suggestions.
Yeah, thank you so much. We needed this.
We loved it.
Yeah. What's the biggest breakthrough you've had with the Fairy BOSSmother today?
Did I need to work on my I'm awesome pose? Yeah, and do you want to go first?
Well, I mean, for me, it was just kind of like, okay, just get out there and show yourself. Like, find that in-person, appeal and make it come through on social media and our website. That's my breakthrough. Yeah.
And for me, I would say, which is something we've known already, but the importance of just carving out that scheduled time, because the business is not going to grow unless we give it time. So.
Mm-hmm.
And what if I told you that we could nail everything in then some in 100 days? You're not waiting for a year.
Yeah, I mean, we need the business to respond sooner than later, for sure.
Mm-hmm. And that's all right. Yes. Okay.
Yes. Sorry about that.
It was so amazing having you both on the show. Get the things that we discussed today implemented. Please share it on Instagram today, because that's going to be your homework forward now.
It's a Tuesday. It's our Tuesday day.
Well, we're going to do it today and then it's going Tuesday going forward.
Okay.
And then please keep in touch, because I'd love to see how you guys progress as well.
Yeah, we will.
Thank you so much.
If you enjoyed this episode of the Fairy BOSSmother Show and you're a small business owner, apply to be a guest on the show and get your very own live brand review. You can apply by going to my website, www.bossdiplomat.com, or snap the QR code on this video. See you soon.